You feel it building in your chest. Heat, static, tight fists, clenched jaw. That surge that turns your thoughts into hard edges and makes the room feel too small. People tell you to calm down, breathe it away, count to 10, pretend you don't care. That advice kept you tame and tired. You don't need to erase anger. You need to recruit it. Turn anger into fuel. Not noise, not drama. Fuel. Controlled fire that powers the engine and does not burn down the house. That is the difference between wreckage and results. You choose. Anger arrives when a line gets crossed. Time wasted. Disrespect tolerated. Potential ignored. Standards violated. Promises broken. You can let that become a loop of complaints and cheap dopamine. Or you can convert it into velocity and precision. This is a conversion problem, not a personality flaw. The same heat that ruins a day can win a month when you give it structure. You will build that structure. You will put rails on the fire and make it move you forward. Start by telling the truth about what angers you, not vague grumbling, mechanics. You are angry because you have been lying to yourself about your time. Angry because you made deals with your weakness. Angry because you let other people's emergencies colonize your calendar. Angry because you trained once and expected lifetime confidence. Angry because you settled for cheap comfort and now the bill arrived. Good. Truth stings. Pain is a message. Translate it into tasks. Write the inventory. What specifically deserves your anger? The wasted hours after midnight. The skipped sessions that turned into a soft year. The unmade calls that starved your cash flow. The weak boundaries that let anybody interrupt your deep work. The soft language you use to excuse yourself. Put it on paper. Anger unspoken turns to poison. Anger mapped turns to fuel. You will not stew. You will schedule. Your conversion protocol is simple. Identify, convote, deploy, recover. Identify the trigger and the violated standard. Convert the charge into a concrete move inside a fixed time window. Deploy with controlled aggression until the clock hits. Recover long enough to preserve capacity, then re-enter. That's the loop. You will run it until it replaces your old spiral. Control begins with the body. When anger hits, your heart rate spikes, breath shortens, focus scatters. You will not pretend you are above biology. You will use it. 2 minutes. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Exhale through the mouth for 6. Shoulders down, jaw unclenched, eyes still. That ratio shifts your nervous system from blind fight to directed fight. You are moving from flailing to striking. Then you act inside a time box that is too short for rumination and long enough for output. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 90 minutes. Timers make anger produce. Aim the fire at the highest leverage task, not the easiest, not the most visible, the action that moves the needle. If money is the stress, pick the revenue lever. Sales calls, proposals sent, offers refined, fulfillment delivered. If body is the stress, pick the training lever. Today's programmed heavy set, the track session that scares you, the long walk you keep skipping, the meal prep that erases dumb choices. If mind is the stress, pick the focus lever. 90 minutes of deep work with no switching. If relationships are the stress, pick the truth lever. The hard conversation you have avoided, stated calmly and clearly with the ask on the table. Fire wants a target. Give it the right one. Stop wasting anger on arguments that create no outcomes. Social media shouting is a sink. Reply threads are a sink. Ranting to friends who can't help is a sink. Your mouth can't spend energy and your hands spend it building at the same time. Every sentence you speak while heated must lead to a move, or you stay silent and start moving. Adopt a ruthless rule. No heat without output. If you catch yourself spiraling, break posture, drop and do push-ups. Go for a hill sprint. Pick up a pen and write the plan. Pick up the phone and make the call. Convert within 60 seconds. Action drains poison. Anger is a compass when you read it correctly. It points at violated values. What value did this moment expose? Discipline, respect, ownership, excellence, clarity. Whatever it is, build a standard that protects it, then enforce the standard. Standards are how anger stops repeating itself. Without standards, you will keep revisiting the same fire with the same excuses. With standards, anger becomes a one-time ignition that births a permanent mechanism. You will weaponize mornings. Anger thrives in unplanned days because chaos hands it unlimited targets. You remove chaos. You will plan tomorrow tonight. On paper, 3 outcomes, 1 physical, 1 professional, 1 relational, each defined by a verb and a number. You will script the opening hour so negotiation dies before it multiplies. Wake, water, movement hard enough to sweat. 1 page stating outcomes, 90 minutes of deep work before messages. Anger will show up at 10 a.m. and find you already in motion. Momentum tames fire. Your training becomes the laboratory for conversion. You will not go to the gym to play with machines and scan your reflection. You will go to move heavy things with intent and technique. Anger makes you rush. Technique makes you dangerous. Use the heat to start. Use the cues to finish. Brace, drive, lock out. Control the negative. Log the set. Progression is data, not vibes. You will channel rage into tempo and posture and volume. Every rep becomes proof. You can feel heat and produce precision. That skill transfers everywhere else. Your work becomes a scoreboard. Anger lies without numbers. It tells you you're starving when you are actually skipping. It tells you you're trying when you are actually planning. You will install numbers that refuse the lie. Deep work blocks completed. Offers sent. Follow-ups done. Revenue closed. Hours slept. Protein grams eaten. Steps walked. Sessions finished. The scoreboard is merciless and liberating. If you do the work, it credits you. If you don't, it tells you so. You stop bargaining with stories and start negotiating with math. You will set boundaries with steel in your voice and calm in your face. Anger makes you want to explode. That is easy. Power is stating the line and enforcing it without theatrics. I don't take calls in deep work blocks. Here are my hours. I don't discuss business at the dinner table. I don't drink on weeknights. I don't scroll before noon. I don't miss this training day. Boundaries turn future anger into fewer decisions. You're not rigid for show. You're consistent to reduce chaos. You will stop treating anger like a personality you have to live with and start treating it like wattage you are responsible for routing. Unrouted wattage fries circuits. Routed wattage drives motors. When you feel it rise, you do not label yourself broken. You label the circuit. You ask, which motor gets this? Then you route the current through a task until the timer ends. Simple. Effective. Your circle must align with conversion. If their default response to your heat is, let's vent and order junk, they are an anchor. If their default is, what's the next lever, they are a multiplier. Keep multipliers. Reduce anchors. You do not need spectators for your meltdown. You need allies for your mission. Find people who measure, who ship, who ask clean questions, who stand without noise. Bottle their calm when yours wavers. Lend them your fire when theirs is low. Trade strengths. That is a team. You will engineer your environment to lower the cost of doing the right thing and raise the cost of doing the wrong thing. When anger spikes, you want the path to action to be smooth, gym bag packed, shoes visible, water ready, workspace clean, single task laid open, phone out of the room, junk food hard to access, social apps deleted from the device you work on. Reminder, environment beats willpower. You remove friction ahead of time, so the fire hits a runway, not a maze. Establish fear drills. Anger and fear are siblings. Fear freezes, anger flails. Both can be trained. Daily, schedule one ask that raises your pulse. One piece of work shipped publicly that invites judgment. One call you want to avoid. When you do this on purpose, anger meets a pre-chosen outlet instead of searching for a victim. Fear loses its ability to hijack you because you keep walking into it until its tricks get boring. Bored fear is a quiet roommate. Loud fear is a tyrant. Train for the quiet one. Eat like you respect the engine. Anger plus trash food equals volatility. Protein steady. Plants heavy. Water high. Alcohol low. Caffeine on schedule, not as a crutch for chaos. You are not punishing yourself. You are creating a chemical environment where your brain obeys your orders. The easiest way to lose control is to flood your system with sugar and stimulants, and then pretend your decisions are pure willpower. You are better than that. Act like it. Sleep like a professional. Fire without recovery is burnout disguised as commitment. Set a shutdown time. Screens off, lights down. Notes on paper for tomorrow so your brain stops looping. Room, cool and dark, same wake time daily. Your temper is not a mystery. It's a function of sleep. You do not earn toughness by wrecking your base. You earn it by respecting the rules your body uses to keep you from falling apart. Then you show up ready to fight. Stop idolizing peace as the only sign of maturity. The goal is not to lose the ability to get angry. The goal is to gain the ability to deploy anger on command toward outcomes. Firefighters do not fear fire. They respect it, study it, prepare for it, and use it to understand flow and danger. They run toward the heat with a plan. That is you now. You run at the heat with a plan. You will assign your anger a job per category. Body job, move weight, move lungs, rebuild structure. Work job, shut the door, close the deal, ship the deliverable. Money job, cut the leaks, raise the value, make the ask. Relationship job, speak plainly, listen fully, repair fast. Identity job, keep your word when nobody watches. When the surge hits, choose the category and run the job. Emotion becomes labor. Labor becomes result. Result becomes memory. Memory becomes confidence. Confidence becomes quiet. Precision beats volume. Rage is loud, wasteful, sloppy. Fuel is quiet, dense, efficient. You will train your strikes to be small and sharp. Under attack, pick one lever and pull it hard, instead of thrashing across 5. Write 1,000 clean words. Finish one terrifying set with perfect form. Call one client with a real offer. Have one direct conversation and ask for one specific change. Finish. log, move. You're not trying to impress the room. You're trying to move the mission. You will give your anger criteria to respect. Injury or danger, stop and fix. Form breaking under load, reduce and rebuild. Repeating the same argument without new data, exit and return with a plan. New insult to your standards, address once clearly with consequences. If repeated, enforce the consequence. Criteria keep the engine out of the ditch. Without criteria, anger becomes an excuse for impulsive damage. With criteria, anger enforces lines that needed enforcing months ago. Rehearse in calm what you will say in heat. Write scripts for daily friction. I can't discuss this now. Let's schedule it at 3 p.m. with notes. This doesn't meet the standard. Here's the correction and deadline. I don't accept that tone. We can talk when we can respect each other. I'm focused until noon. I'll respond after. You are not being dramatic. You are being a professional. Professionals don't improvise boundaries. They state them and keep working. Install consequences for yourself when you misroute the fire. If you break your own rule, pay a cost. Cold shower tonight. Extra conditioning tomorrow. Donate money to a cause you don't like. Cancel entertainment for the evening. Not as punishment, as alignment. Your brain must learn that your word is expensive to break. The more expensive it is, the less you will casually step over your own line. Keep a record of conversions. Date, trigger, move, result, adjustment. This is your anger ledger. Over time, you'll see patterns. Which levers pay best? Which triggers are upstream of disaster? Which environments push you into noise? Which people multiply your focus? You will become a strategist with real data instead of a reactor with good intentions. That transition is the difference between living inside storms and steering through them. Stop apologizing for intensity. You adjust intensity with technique, not by sanding yourself down into someone who fits into every room. Most rooms are average on purpose. You will not shrink to match them. You will choose rooms that handle heat and ask for outcomes. You will create rooms like that if you can't find them. Your energy is expensive. Spend it where the return is real. Turn resentment into reps. If you feel slighted, cheated, underestimated, great. Convert the insult into a block of focused work today, not a month of backstory. 3 90-minute blocks this week delivered clean will buy you more future power than a year of carrying a chip on your shoulder. Put the chip down. Pick the weight up. Let the numbers speak for you. Aggression with no aim breaks things. Aggression with aim builds them. You are done breaking. You are building. You will be the one who arrives early and starts the heavy lift, while others rehearse speeches about how unfair the load is. You will be the one who picks a deadline and meets it, who sets a boundary and holds it, who experiences anger and turns it into a completed set, a shipped draft, a closed invoice, a repaired relationship. You will train carries, heavy in the hands, quiet in the face. Walk, breathe. This practice teaches your nervous system how to hold weight with posture when everything in you wants to drop it and complain. Life is carries, responsibility, reputation, promise, expectation. You don't drop them because it aches. You set them down when the set ends. That discipline leaks into your voice, your deals, your home. People will feel it. They will stand straighter around you or step away. Let both happen. You will guard your input stream. Outrage media is engineered to hijack your anger and rent it out for ad revenue. You will not donate your attention to someone else's funnel. Curate your feed to people who show receipts, not tantrums. Consume in tight windows with intention. If a topic doesn't change what you will do today, it can wait. If it can wait, it's not fuel, it's spill. You will raise your pain threshold through structured exposure, not macho chaos. Intervals on the track, progressive overload in the weight room, focus blocks that stretch your attention without snapping it. Hard conversations prepared and executed without venom. Exposure plus recovery equals adaptation. Adaptation equals capacity. Capacity turns anger into a small spice you add when needed, not the whole meal you choke on. You will lower your ego and raise your standard. Ego wants the dramatic outburst that makes you the center. Standard wants the quiet completion that moves the mission. Choose standard. When you miss, you admit it fast and fix it faster. No sulking, no stories. The game doesn't care. It pays the player who returns to form first. That will be you. Calibrate expectations. The goal is not a life without friction. The goal is a life where friction becomes forward motion. Expect traffic. Expect delays. Expect idiots. Expect your own mistakes. Expect days your energy dips. Expect temptation. Expect boredom. Then design brew it. When you operate as if chaos is normal, you stop wasting anger on shock and start using it for leverage. Build a minimum effective day that protects you from collapse. One clean meal. One focused block on the highest lever. One training set with perfect form. One repair where you hurt someone. Lights out on time. That is your floor. You fall onto it when the day runs sideways. You don't fall through. The floor keeps you in the game. Anger loves to push you to extremes. The floor saves you from the ditch. You will not let apologies replace adjustments. If you lose control, repair and adjust a system. Remove a trigger, move a tool, change a time, write a script, set a consequence. Apology without adjustment is theater. You are not in theater. You are in operations. You will treat your life like a plant treats heat. Vents where needed, ducts where needed, gauges on everything that matters. Maintenance on schedule. Direct your anger at your own complicity first. You want to start with blame because it is warm and easy. Start with responsibility because it's cold and effective. What did you allow? What did you skip? What did you ignore? What did you postpone? What did you overestimate? Answer without self-hatred. Fix one lever today. Repeat tomorrow. Your power returns. Turn anger into cadence. When you feel the surge, you will breathe, set posture, and start moving at a fixed rhythm instead of sprinting into a wall. Work to a metronome. 45 minutes on, 10 off, 9 sets of 5, 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. Your brain will want chaos to match your mood. You will deny it and choose structure. Structure is what makes fury produce. When the day ends, you will log the conversions. Not to make art, to make a map. What triggered you? What move you chose? What result you got? What to adjust? Over weeks, your map will show that you are no longer at the mercy of your temperature. You are the one turning the dial. Your environment will notice. People will treat you like a thermostat, not a thermometer. You set conditions. You don't mirror them. Tomorrow will still test you. Someone will waste your time. Something will break. a plan will collapse. You will feel the heat rise in your throat. Good. That is the cue. You don't need a speech. You need a sentence. Win this minute. Finish this set. Ship this deliverable. Make this call. State this boundary. Then do it. Action first. Emotion second. By the time the feeling catches up, the move is done. You are done performing anger. You are done numbing it. You are done pretending it makes you special. It does not. Everyone gets angry. Few convert. Be one of the few. Take the heat that once wrecked your day and put it under the pot where your work boils. Take the static that once poisoned your head and wire it into the machine that prints outcomes. Take the clenched jaw and turn it into shoulders down, eyes up, hands moving. You will be known as the person who gets sharper when tested, who hears the insult and produces an invoice, who sees the late payment and tightens the collection system, who feels the disrespect and raises the standard with calm enforcement, who experiences the spike of rage and runs the play instead of running the mouth. This reputation compounds into trust, and trust is currency that spends everywhere. No more waiting for calm seas. You are the captain who sets sail because the ship is built right. Haul tight. Crew trained. Charts ready. Systems rehearsed. Storm hits. You do not scream at the sky. You give orders and adjust course. You burn fuel where it counts. You don't get to choose the weather. You choose the build. Build for storms. Turn anger into fuel. Fuel into motion. Motion into numbers. Numbers into identity. Identity into quiet power. Quiet power into results that speak. Then sleep. Wake. Do it again. This is not poetry. This is how you stop wasting your life chasing sparks and start driving an engine. The road is long. Good. Engines are made for distance. Set your jaunt, relax your face, breathe, and move.